Hello everyone, my name is Saurabh Pawar. Today we will discuss about blood composition and hematopoiesis. Let's talk about firstly the composition of the blood. Blood is the fluid connective tissue. It circulates around the body through the blood vessels due to the pumping action of our heart. Arterial blood carries oxygen and nutrient to all the body's cells, and the venous blood carries carbon dioxide and other metabolic waste away from the cells. In addition to the transport of gases, nutrients, and waste, blood has many other functions. The removal of waste such as carbon dioxide, urea, and lactic acid from the body tissues, defending the body against infection by microorganisms or parasites, the repair of damaged body tissues, transport of chemicals message such as hormones like substances, the control of body pH, the control of body temperature. Blood is a colloid, a mixture of tiny particles dispersed evenly in the fluid, and it of roughly 5 liters. Roughly account for about 7% of human body weight. The average adult has blood volume of roughly 5 liters, which is composed of fluid called plasma, several kinds of cells. Within the blood plasma are erythrocytes, leukocytes, and thrombocytes. Let's talk about the plasma. Plasma is a golden yellow liquid part of blood. Plasma is 90% of water and 10% of dissolved materials including protein, glucose, ions, hormones, and gases. It acts as buffer. Maintaining pH near 7.54, plasma is about 54% of the volume of blood. Cells and fragments make up about 46% of volume. Firstly, red blood cells. The red blood cells, also known as erythrocytes, are flattened double concave cells that carry oxygen. There are about 4 to 6 million cells per cubic millimeter of blood. Red blood cells make up about 45% of blood volume, as shown in figure below. Each red blood cells has 200 million hemoglobin molecule. Humans have total of 25 trillion red blood cells. Red blood cells are continuously made up in red bone marrow, ribs, the skull, and the vertebra. Each red blood cell lives for only 120 days, after which they are destroyed in the liver and spleen. Mature red blood cells do not have nuclei or other organelle. They contain the protein hemoglobin, which gives blood its red color. The iron containing heme portion of hemoglobin enables the protein to carry oxygen to the cells. Heme binds to molecule of oxygen, which increase the ability of blood to carry the gas. Iron from the hemoglobin is recovered and reused by red marrow. The liver degrades the heme units and secretes them as pigment in the bile, which is responsible for the color of feces. Each second, 2 million red blood cells are produced to replace those taken out of circulation. Let's talk about the white blood cells. White blood cells, also known as leukocytes, are generally larger than red blood cells, as shown in figure below. They have nucleus but do not have hemoglobin. White blood cells makes up less than 1% of blood volume. They are made up from stem cells in bone marrow. They function in cellular immune response system. There are 5 types of white blood cells. Neutrophils enter the tissues fluid by squeezing through capillary walls and phagocytosis foreign bodies. Macrophages also swallow and destroy cell debris and bacteria or viruses. The white blood cells is shown phagocytosis to bacteria. Macrophages also release substances that cause the number of white blood cells to increase. Antigen antibody complexes are swallowed by macrophages. Lymphocytes fight infection. T cells attack cells containing viruses. B cells produces antibodies to learn more about the role of white blood cells in fighting infections. Refer to the immune system concept. Platelets. Platelets, also known as thrombocytes, are important in blood clotting. Platelets are the fragments that bud off bone marrow cells called megakaryotes. A platelets is they make up less than 1% of blood volume. Platelets carry chemicals essential to blood clotting. They change fibrinogen into fibrin, a protein that creates mesh onto which blood cells collect, forming a clot. The clot stops more blood from leaving the body and also helps prevent bacteria from entering the body. Platelets survive for 10 days before being removed by the liver and spleen. There are 150 to 3 lakhs platelets in each millimeter of blood. Platelets stick to tears in blood vessels and they release clotting factors. The next one are other blood components. Blood plasma also contains substances other than water. Some important components of blood include the following: serum albumin, antibodies, hormones, electrolytes, hemopoiesis. Blood plasma also contains serum albumin. Serum albumin is a plasma protein that acts as transporter of hormones and other molecules. Antibodies, proteins that are used by immune system to identify and destroy foreign objects such as bacteria and viruses. Hormones are the chemical messengers that are produced by one cell and carried out to another. Electrolytes such as sodium and chloride ions. Heamtopoiesis. Heamtopoiesis begins with the originator cell common to all blood cell types. It's called as hematopoietic stem cell. An HSC develops into precursor cell or blast cell. A precursor cell is a track to become specific type of blood cells. But it's still in early stages. A precursor cell goes through several cells divisions and changes before it's become fully mature blood cells. The specific types of hematopoiesis includes erythropoiesis, leukopoiesis, thrombopoiesis. Let's talk about erythropoiesis. It is red blood cell production. Leukopoiesis, it is white blood cell production. And thrombopoiesis, it is platelet production. With each change, an originator cell become more specialized, less like a stem cell and more like a red blood cell, white blood cell or platelet. Thank you.